Hey guys, TGCast Productions. So I have another PvP video for you. I did one about a week ago regarding me, or showing off me destroying a cargo griefer or someone who destroyed one of my sails. And I have another one for you in this video, and essentially I'm going to be covering two very, I would say, key topics or arguable topics regarding PvP in GT Online. And that is why KD is not relevant and why GT Online is not naturally competitive. Now, definitely KD has been thrown around a lot. I know that a lot of players in the community try to argue that. As far as competitive, regarding GT Online not being competitive naturally, I wouldn't say that's argued as much, but I'll cover both those in this video. And I definitely think that, regarding these being argued by other players, I definitely think that, one issue that is missing from a lot of their arguments is most of them are just purely opinionated. They don't really have, evidence to really support any of their claims. And I'm going to be using this PvP situation that I got into a little over a week ago. It's actually one of my streams, and I'm going to be using this as evidence to support my claims, or the two claims that I'm going to be, arguing in this video. So if you are an online player, I definitely recommend that you watch the entirety of this video, because you're definitely going to get something out of it, and definitely in terms of PvP in GTA Online, as far as a better understanding. I think you'll really understand where I'm coming from and my perspective. Again, I'm going to be using evidence in this situation to support both of my claims. So first off, a very popular question with most of these PvP situations is, how did it all start? Well, I say this was in one of my streams. I was actually, selling one of my nightclub sales. As you see, it was actually, the value was over 1.1 million. So I lost a lot of money here. This player destroyed my sale. That's how it all started. Pretty much simple answer there. But like I said, they're definitely upsetting. This was a lot of money that I lost. But again, I'm not going to show you obviously the whole sale. But this guy on an MK1 oppressor, as you're going to see here in a few seconds, I was basically coming up to Sandy Shores. I actually had a very easy sail. You'll see I was expanding my radar. You'll see a guy in an MK1 oppressor. His name's Send Me Demons, and I had a very easy sail. It was a one pretty much stop drop. One of the type of sails you had to search the area, and you'll see I'm getting close to finishing the sail. He's coming up on me. You end up seeing he hits me with the missile as I'm sort of passing by that lane there. And I tried to drop a few mines. He gets a little bit lucky here because he hits me with an explosion as I hit the sign. End up getting knocked on my side. Pretty much at that point, gave him, an easy shot at destroying my sail. So I'd say he got a little bit lucky here. But this is definitely what set off the PvP situation that you're going to see after this. Now, one more thing I want to note here. I want you to look at this player's KD. You see right there I have a 1.04 KD. This player, rank 535, Semi-Demons, has an 8.05 KD, as you just saw there. So this guy has almost a 7.00 KD higher than me. To be exact, 6.99 KD higher than me. So there's a big KD difference here, but I want you to keep that in mind over the course of the entire fight. So obviously I do decide to go after him. I have my MK2 oppressor here. He directly comes towards me in his MK1 oppressors. You'll see coming up here. I have one of my friends with me on their MK2 oppressor. But he comes directly towards me, and pretty much I have the upper hand with the MK2 oppressor. I shoot some missiles at him. He immediately jumps off. I end up destroying his MK1 oppressor, and he ends up getting killed, hitting the ground. Now, obviously, I didn't really think I wasn't jumping to conclusions here, because obviously you could easily, jump off, maybe fail to pull your parachute. I've had that happen before, but that is definitely not the case, and as you'll see, definitely not the type of player that I am dealing with here. I end up going up towards him here a minute. My friend accidentally hit me, so I was eating snacks real quick to refill my health. But I end up running up towards this player again, and I essentially try to snipe him, and I actually do snipe him, as you're going to end up seeing here. I have my thermal scope applied, and I shoot him. I hit him with an explosive round and knock him over, and as soon as he gets back up, immediately blows himself up with a sticky bomb, like instantaneously. So pretty much right there I knew what I was dealing with, and then after this he ends up quick spawning, as you're going to end up seeing. But right there alone, I arguably got gypped out of a kill there, and I definitely want you to keep track of that. I'm going to count how many kills I've arguably got gypped out of over the course of the entire fight here, but definitely keep that in mind. And I think that that definitely goes towards supporting really both, in a sense, both I would say claims in this video. Why GT Online is not competitive. I mean, I easily could have killed him right there after, and also that helped him from obviously being negative towards his KD. I wasn't able to get a kill on him there. So I think that right there, that situation goes towards both claims. Now, once he quick spawns, he seems to seemingly disappear from the fight right until this moment here. He ends up trying to pretty much stealth kill me with the Akula, try to pull a fast one on me there. Almost did get me. I mean, the missiles flew like right past me. I'd say about a second difference, he probably would have had me. At that point, I ended up trying to take his Akula down with the explosive rounds. He ends up disappearing again. But I would say this encounter definitely goes under the category or the claim, or supporting the claim of why GT Online is not naturally competitive, because I could do the same thing. I could fly around the map with my Akula, blow everybody up, and then just disappear pretty much without a trace if I wanted to. And I think that goes under, like I said, what he just tried to do right there goes under the category of why GT Online is not naturally competitive. Without parameters, without guidelines in a PvP fight, GT Online, it is arguably not naturally competitive. After disappearing for the second time, he tries to come after me in the Savage. You're going to see here coming around the building here in a second. Tries to obviously get me with the cannon rounds, what I'm assuming, and pretty much immediately starts spamming him with explosive rounds, obviously to disable that thing or blow him up, which obviously I ended up doing. And I'm surprised he didn't kill himself there. I don't think he exactly anticipated for it to be that quick. He might have thought he would have been able to kill me before I got him, maybe just died. But he ends up respawning here, and I basically tried to snipe him, and he basically starts shooting RPGs at me. I would say this encounter definitely goes under the and even really Savage encounter, both the encounters you're seeing here, really goes under the category or supporting the claim of why GT Online is not naturally competitive. You know, using a Savage in against just a player on the ground isn't really that competitive. And same thing here. I mean, I'm trying to snipe him. He's using RPGs. You know, the fact that you can use any weapon in free mode just really supports the claim of why, you know, and he ends up getting me there, but why GT Online is not naturally competitive without guidelines. And as soon as I respawn here, they get a pretty good kill on me here. He did end up sniping me. I ended up getting stuck. I was trying to make my movement, try to confuse him. I did end up getting stuck here, and he did end up getting a kill on me there. So that was a pretty good kill. I'll give him that overall. But, you know, as soon as I respawn here, immediately start getting shot at by him. He actually ends up starting to shoot RPGs at me. He started trying to snipe me with the semi-auto sniper first, and then he ends up pretty much deciding to shoot RPGs at me again. I really wasn't having it. I took a few more sniper shots at him. He kept using the RPG. I didn't want to take a chance of getting killed here, so I end up pretty much just pulling out the grenade launcher, and I do end up getting him with this, which is pretty cool. So I'd say it's a pretty cool kill here. Again, he's using explosives, and once again, being able to use every weapon in free mode just supports the idea of really why GT Online is not naturally, you know, competitive overall. And with this next encounter, I really want you to pay attention here, obviously, because I do end up hitting him with one of my explosive rounds, knocking him over, and once again, he gets up and immediately blows himself up, and obviously, arguably just me out of a kill there as well. So that's arguably 2 kills at this point during the course of this fight that he jipped me out of kills on him. Now, as soon as he respawns here, I kill him pretty quickly with a semi-auto sniper, but I want you to keep in mind it only took about 4 shots to kill him, and this is important for the next encounter coming up, which I'm going to skip a little bit here ahead, but you see he registers as a CEO. Now, what he likely did here was drop Bull Shark. A lot of times when players register as a CEO in the middle of a fight, they drop Bull Shark, and to further sort of support the idea of that, he ends up taking 5 hits and still has a fair amount of health left. So he even took more hits than before, still has a fair amount of health, and ends up killing me right here. And I'm going to end up showing you just how easy it is to spawn Bull Shark in the middle of a fight, because it really is, and you can pretty much use it back to back to back. But that definitely, what you saw right there, I'm not going to count that as sort of him jipping me out of a kill, but that definitely goes under supporting the claim of why GT Online is not naturally competitive, considering you can so easily spawn it into GT Online, and what that basically does is allow a player to deal and take more damage. Considering that you can spawn that so easily in online and be able to use that against somebody almost instantaneously, it definitely obviously gives that player an edge in combat. And like I said, I think further supports the idea of why GTA Online is not naturally competitive, at least in free mode. You know, even on my channel, I featured in the past like doing TDMs, and that's really one like mode, I guess, in a sense, where you can get a lot of competitiveness out of it, as long as both players agree to certain guidelines. Like if you're playing in free aim, agree to free aim, or not using bull shark. That's really when GTA Online is fairly competitive. Like I said, when both players agree to guidelines. Other than that, GTA Online is not naturally competitive at all. Now, quick intermission with the fight here. I said I was going to show you how easy it is to spawn bull shark in case you didn't know. But essentially, if you register as a CEO, go down to CEO abilities, and then the second option there you see is drop bull shark, costs $1,000. It'll be dropped right in front of you, and pretty much for a minute you're going to be able to deal and take more damage with other players. I'm going to fast forward here after this minute pass. You can see I can spawn it in again, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to fluently spawn this in a fight. You saw I didn't even have to stop running there. It's because it spawns right in front of you. So pretty much a player in the middle of a fight can drop it as they're running with their weapon out and everything, and grab it and immediately start fighting. So it's very easy to spawn this in, and you can use it, like I said, back to back to back, as long as you have $1,000, which is very cheap and online. So again, you know, everybody can use this. I'm not going to necessarily say you know, I'm not going to say it's unfair in a sense, but it definitely, like I said, supports the idea of not being naturally competitive, because if one player is not using it and the other player is using it, obviously the other player is going to have an advantage. And and this does happen a lot in free mode, unfortunately, but I just really want to show you, like I said, in case you didn't know, how easy it really is to spawn that in. You know, as far as with the CEO is concerned. You can also call Brucey, he'll spawn in near you, but obviously no one's going to do that in the middle of a fight. The CEO option is definitely way more convenient. I'll just quickly show you the rest of the encounters of the fight me and this player had. We ended up going at each other here with the grenade launcher. He does end up getting me, so pretty good kill here, both using the same weapons. You know, so pretty fair at this point in free mode. And I ended up respawning. He was in the same spot. He ends up getting me again with the grenade launcher. So two pretty good kills on his part there. Like I said, once again, we are using the same weapons. He does kill himself there. I think he was afraid my friend was going to get him with the MK2 presser. We get in a sniper war here. This is the encounter after those two. And I hit him one time. He does get a pretty good headshot on me though. Really, headshots are tough for me to get on him because he's using a bulletproof helmet. Sort of further support why, again, GTA Online is not naturally competitive, because you can use things like that. They're going to give you extra headshots, but right here, he does kill himself here. I'm not going to count this as a gypped kill necessarily, because I don't really know if one of those grenades would have hit him. However, this one right here is, and this is really important that you watch this right here. I hit him 4 times here, I believe I counted. And arguably, given that he still has bull shark, given the amount of times the amount of damage he's able to take, he ends up blowing himself up right in the middle of us shooting at each other, right in the middle of it. And this is really why I have a big problem against tryhard tactics, because it really becomes a problem when you kill yourself right in the middle of a fight. Like, you're in the middle of shooting, stop shooting, and then blow yourself up just because you're concerned you're going to die. And I probably would have killed him there too. About 1 or 2 more hits, he probably would have been dead. So that is a little bit ridiculous, and I think that definitely goes towards supporting both why GTA Online is not competitive naturally, and really KD too. I mean, that's just helping his KD once again. He's obviously preventing himself from getting killed, obviously, you know, proving negative to his KD. So I think that kill rate, or that, I should say, encounter rate there perfectly shows or supports both claims that I am arguing in this video. Right here with this next encounter, I was trying to hit him with the grenade launcher, trying to throw sticky bombs, get him out of that corner, and my friend ended up coming with the MK2 presser. I think that scared him a little bit. He thought he was going to get killed, so he does end up blowing himself up here. But this next kill you're going to see here definitely counts as a gypped kill. You'll see I tried to get him with the RC Bandito, and I would have got him, but he blew himself up pretty much almost as soon as the RC Bandito blew up. So that is pretty much the 4th and I would say final kill in this fight that he gypped me out, or I should say 4th and final time in this fight that he gypped me out of a kill. So definitely keep that in mind. That's 4 times that I've counted. And right here, I believe he does end up killing me. Yeah, he pretty much hits me directly with an RPG, which is unfortunate. But we are definitely nearing towards the end of the fight at this point. last couple encounters I had with him, I tried to get a couple buzzard kills on him. I did end up getting him one time with the buzzard, and then he did end up also, I think I killed him right here with the buzzard, and then right after this, after him respawning, I was trying to circle around the building just to try to avoid getting shot at or hit from behind, as you see here. And then I got a little bit too close to him when I was coming back around. I got a little bit too low to the ground. He was able to hit me with either an RPG or homing launcher. Not really quite sure what he had there, but this brings us pretty much to our last encounter here. I think he quick spawned or joined a job, because he ended up pretty much spawning right next to me here, and I didn't really notice it first, and he ends up pretty much blowing me up with an RPG. At this point, you see right here, he pretty much spawned right back in, and he ends up blowing me up with an RPG, and that was pretty much the last kill of the fight. But at this point, like I said, I was just trying to leave the fight, because keep in mind, I was streaming at this time, and my friend and I had to finish some sales. There was supposed to be someone else I was helping as well, so really, I didn't want to really get involved with this fight. I just also didn't want to let this player get away with just destroying my sale. But again, we were pretty much just trying to get out of the session at that point, and that was pretty much the last encounter that we had together. And I believe the final score with me and him was 10-5. So that was the final score. However, sort of, I guess, summarize the points that I talked about. Like I said, the entire fight I pretty much broke down and used to support the two claims that I was talking about, but sort of just summarize them. I think the entire fight really overall proves, and I stated it a number of times throughout the fight, but I think the overall fight, considering that you can use anything in a fight, any vehicle, any weapon, you can use bull shark in free mode, and even in certain modes as well, but mostly free mode, I think just goes to show that, like I said, GT Online is not naturally competitive. I use the TDM example, unless, like I said, two players or the two opposing parties in a PvP fight agree to certain parameters, such as maybe a certain class of weapons or a certain class of vehicles, or not using something like bull shark, then I think online becomes more competitive. But without those parameters and those boundaries, GT Online, I don't believe, and it's arguable with what I've given you, is not competitive. And I want to bring that up because I don't know why, in free mode, players, they think they're so skilled because they won a free mode fight, but in reality, it's not really that competitive. You can easily win a free mode fight if you use the right vehicles, and obviously you can ultimately dominate a player in a fight if you really wanted to. So I think that's, like I said, that's why I really wanted to touch on that. And then as far as KD is concerned, I talked about in the beginning of the video how this player had a 8.05 KD out of 1.04 KD, and he ended up, that's a 6.99 KD difference, so a very significant difference, and the final score was 10-5. Now, I talked about how he arguably jipped me out of, or cheated me out of 4 kills out of the entire fight. And arguably this score could have really been 10-9. So it really comes down to really what is the true KD. And really, to be honest, KD to me, when I look at a player's KD, the only thing that KD tells me about a player is how they play in PvP. It doesn't tell me how skilled they are. It tells me how they play. Because if I'm looking at someone that has a higher than 2.0, 3.0 KD and so forth, I'm looking at a player that likely is a fairly dirty player, so to say, and likely uses tryhard tactics in a fight like this player. Other than that, that's really all KD tells me. KD does not tell me how skilled you are, and really how in PvP, because again, PvP isn't really that competitive to begin with. And like I said, he jipped me out of 4 kills in this video, as we arguably saw. So I think given all that, those points really do show that again, GT Online is not naturally competitive without parameters and boundaries, and also KD does not mean that you're a skilled player. And like I said, I wanted to use specific examples in this fight to support my claim. Like I said, I believe a lot of people that argue PvP and GT Online, they're mostly opinionated, and they don't use they don't use examples, they don't use evidence to support their claims, and it's all really opinionated, and then it ends up just becoming really they end up being very ignorant about the situation, because they really just, it's all opinionated, but they really truly don't, I think, understand PvP, because they're not using examples, they're not supporting their claims, it's all opinionated. So that's why I really wanted to do that in this video. That was really the main point behind this. But in any case, I really hope you found this video very beneficial. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and be sure to comment if you have any questions. And as always, have a great day.